You want to hear what a manatee sounds like?
Thing where I sing better if I am barefoot. And I don't have socks on right now.
Everyone knows my name, they can read it on my sleeve.
Played a banjo badly.
Feel the heat from the fire that's been burning in your heart.
Like, I love the old vintage stuff.
Somehow the 60 years and 19 days, they woke up in the dark.
We had to bury that stupid llama, and it took us forever.
How to make music happen, how to make it pretty, how to make it dissonant, and I learned how to sing through them.
Don't have babies with crazy people, cause they never go away.
And then you could take like 6 pennies and tape them to the arm, and it would ride over the wave.
Hi there, Joe Shelton here today with another episode of Moonshine and Music. Today's episode is kind of a special one for us because a lot of work has gone into putting together a record for a friend of ours, and his name's Ray Hoskins. Today he is going to be the featured guest because we're going to preview and talk about his new single and his album. I am the producer of the album. The album was produced by my production company that also produces Moonshine and Music. So it's kind of a, one of our guys here jumping out with his first record and putting something out there for people to listen to and to maybe be connected to and feel something from. So we decided we would talk to Ray about the record. We're gonna have a little interview there. And then at the end of the show here, you'll get to see a music video for the first single, which is called Almost Home. So, hang in there, check it out. Let's talk to Ray, and let's check out this new song. Thanks for joining us today. On that topic, a lot of the folks are probably not aware of how records get made. Mm-hmm. What do you feel like was the biggest thing that you learned, as we were putting together the record?
Well, I'd heard from a person in Texas a few years ago that us singer-songwriters who are soloists are really lousy at staying in consistent time. Starting to record this album proved to me that he was correct, and I was a great example of it. So one of my biggest challenges was getting to a point where I stayed consistent in time enough that other people could actually record with me. Because I tended to play the songs freeform like I do when I'm performing. And some of the things that I do for effect, you really can't do if other people have to play drums and other things along with what you're doing. So I had to develop new skills of staying more focused.
Well, I feel like we stuck with a free form kind of feel anyway.
We did.
The trying to get you to play to the metronome is one of the great comedies of the.
It's still comedic. I've got one of the ones you stick on your arm, and I'm better, but I still.
It's not really. I make a joke of it, but it's not. It's definitely a learned skill more than something that naturally happens. Mm-hmm. In terms of being able to play exactly to something that is incredibly perfect.
Yes.
So there's no ebb and flow. It's like click, click, click.
Well, once upon a time, when I was in school, I had one of those little black flute things.
Oh, like the recorder?
The recorder, and we had to play the recorder to the metronome, and I could do that. But there's something about I didn't sing and play.
The added complexity of all the things going on.
The added complexity of everything that I do, especially with the way I finger pick, I think. I was going from mostly a lead that's physical, kinesthetic, to trying to go to a lead that, well, being led by an auditory sound. And I found that really difficult. I mean, the other device I have that I'm working with, a lot of drummers use, they'll put it around their chest and to help even drummers stay in time. But I have a really difficult time with the metronome. I don't have trouble though playing along with the drummer at the same time. I can do it with the drummer, but I can't do it with the metronome without more struggle.
So, talking about the songs on the record, I think to segue into some of that, I think we're part of what we're doing today is we're filming a music video for Almost Home. Mm-hmm. The song Almost Home, where did that one come from?
Actually, the thanks for that goes to the Chris Wolf and the open mic group we had at Square Cat Vinyl. During COVID, we had to do virtual things, and so he came up with an idea, he and some other people, I think, of throwing out a prompt. And he threw out a prompt called Almost Home. And my wife actually was in Ohio on a business trip, and it started snowing. It was a big old snowstorm. And back years ago, we experienced that a lot because we both worked in Ohio and drove home, or then she was home a lot and I drove back from Ohio in snow and ice storms.
Right.
And I hadn't had the anxiety around that probably since 2003 or something like that. And so literally I was sitting around with my dogs, and she was driving a car that didn't have very good abilities in snow.
Right.
We didn't expect the snow. So she wasn't driving our Jeep, she was driving the little Mercedes. And so I was nervous about it. I usually hadn't been, because she's very good at driving in weather. And that really, and the title was there from his suggestion. And so it just came together.
That's pretty cool. So that would be one of the last ones that you wrote then for the record, right? One of the newer ones?
One of the newer ones, yes.
I mean, some of them are really old. I think the title song to the album, Poisoned Apple Lies, is an older one, correct?
Yeah, it's 52 years old.
52. It doesn't sound 52 when we listen to it.
I'm 52 years old. Wrote it when I was 19.
So the girl who told the poisoned apple lies, is she still, like, do you remember who it was? Or?
Oh yeah, I remember her first name. It was Sandy. I had no idea whatever evolved in her life beyond that point.
That's interesting. I mean, maybe we should track her down or something for the behind the scenes.
I'd have to remember her last name. And she's probably, I'm sure she is married at least once.
Maybe we'll come across her after the song gets out there. You never know. She might be stalking you on Facebook.
I doubt it. And it would probably be, she would have no idea I wrote that song.
Right. I know you have a plethora of other songs on the record. There's songs about love songs. There's songs about tragedies. Mm-hmm. What do you think is your favorite one on the record?
Mm-hmm. I'm proudest of a song called Savages. I don't know that I would call it my favorite.
Okay.
Savages is a song about the effects of trauma. And the other favorite would be Changes. Changes is about a family trying to adjust, an Appalachian family trying to adjust to a daughter going to college. And they've been very clannish. And it actually came from overhearing a young lady and talking to a young lady about the experience she was having, with trying to go to college and family actually sabotaging her. And I had a very similar experience. It was a major point of conflict for my father and I for me to do that, to go academic rather than a laboring route. Those two are the two I'm proudest of.
And the changes as the duet with Jay Nessa.
Yes.
Right.
I do like all the songs, so that's a good thing. You know, sometimes you write songs you don't like. And at my advanced age, I tend to forget the songs I don't like, so I remember what I do. Most of them are on the album.
Well, it's good to skip the ones that you don't like, especially when you put a lot of labor into recording them.
Well, sharing on the title track, it was a song I very seldom perform, and sharing with the audience. I had no vision for it, but Joe did, and so it is. It's kind of an awakening to realize that the song had the potential to be what it is. And as you listen to the album, you'll notice it's definitely of a different style than a lot of the other music. So.
I mean, what I kind of love about the way that you wrote that song is that it is a free-flowing kind of song, and it's a freewheeling bluesy kind of riff all the way through it, which for me harkens to bands that were huge at the time I guess you wrote it, and that are still big. I mean, it's got kind of a Grateful Dead vibe under it a little bit, or maybe some of the other psychedelic rock bands of the 60s. And the second I heard it, I was like, we have to make something out of this that sounds
It was written.
sounds like that, and so I really enjoyed putting that together. That was a lot of fun.
I just realized it was actually written in the summer of '69.
Oh man, I mean, Bryan Adams right now is rolling over in his grave and he hasn't even died yet.
It was written that summer.
Wow, that's really cool. So that's a long time ago, and it's a very fresh song as far as I can think of it, because there's not a lot of that kind of music getting made by a lot of bands, especially not country acts like you. Putting something out like that's a kind of a psychedelic blues tune. So it's a really cool. I'm glad to be a part of it. I guess the next question is, what's next? You going to go out and play live, promote the record? What's your goal?
I'm working on that. I'm talking to two people.
Promoters.
I'm going to be, and I'm getting positive reviews. There may be 3 that will be, interested in booking me around more. I play out, but I don't gig really frequently at this point. But I've sort of changed my work life, things like that recently, so that it will become more and more a part of my time.
Thanks for doing a little piece on the show tonight, and coming on and talking about the record. And you guys look for the new record from Ray Hoskins. It's called Poisoned Apple Lies, and it's going to be coming early 2022. So we'll see you there.
Thank you, Joe.
Here we go.
Woo.
All right, here it is, what you've been waiting for, off the brand new album coming January 14th, Poisoned Apple Lies. We've got Ray Hoskins with Almost Home.
Hanging with the dogs tonight with the TV on, hoping that I'll see you very soon. They say it's snowing all the way from here through Ohio. And you told me you left Cleveland about noon. One of us is sitting home tonight with worry on his mind. This storm is one of many we've known. Your work is off and on the road, so I'm waiting once again for you to call and say you're almost home. First I was the one to go when you were in these shoes, losing sleep each time my drive was slow. Never really realized what you were going through. I guess there was no way I could have known. One of us is sitting home tonight with worry on his mind. This storm is one of many we have known. Your work is off and on the road, so I'm waiting once again for you to call and say you're almost home. I was the same way, but I miss you every time you're gone, and I worry on days like today. One of us is sitting home tonight with worry on his mind. This storm is one of many we have known. Your work is off and on the road, so I'm waiting once again for you to call and say you're almost home. Honey, let me know you're almost home.
Moonshine and Music is a presentation of Notlehs Entertainment, copyright 2021, all rights reserved. The producer of today's show and the host is Joe Shelton. The cameraman, grip, and stunt double is still Brent Lee Smith. Thank you for joining us, and please join us next time on Moonshine and Music.